Bomberman 64 is actually a game that for the longest time I didn't even really know existed. Growing up, the only Bomberman games I played as a kid were Bomberman Party Edition on the PlayStation and Bomberman Hero for the Nintendo 64. But I didn't know that Bomberman already had a single player adventure on the N64 even before Bomberman Hero. And that is, of course, Bomberman 64. The game starts off with this game's antagonist, Altair, and some of his minions who are essentially space pirates, draining the life force of planets and leaving them to be destroyed. They do this with the use of an ancient device known as the Omnicube, and whoever controls the cube controls the universe. After destroying a planet, they move on to Bomberman's home planet, aptly named Planet Bomber. Bomberman is left looking on with dismay at the destruction that is currently happening on his planet. That is, until a mysterious character known as Sirius comes and offers to help guide Bomberman on his journey to stop Altair. Sirius informs Bomberman that in order to get to Altair's base, the Black Fortress, he must go through 4 worlds known as anchors that are attached to this fortress and defeat the bosses at the end. These anchors act as a barrier preventing Bomberman from entry unless he severs the links between the 4 different anchors and Altair's Black Fortress. Bomberman then leaps into action, ready to stop this new threat and save his homeworld. So after this opening, the player is then greeted with a level select screen with the 4 anchors. We've got Green Garden, Blue Resort, Red Mountain, and White Glacier. The player is allowed the choice of playing the worlds in any order they choose. Each of these levels has 4 stages, and if you include Black Fortress, there's a total of 20 stages you need to complete to get to the end credits. The first and third are action stages, where the objective is to get to the goal arrow at the end, and the second and fourth are boss battles. Since I actually went into this game for the first time with no prior knowledge about it, admittedly I was a little thrown off about it. I was surprised to notice this game is essentially like the other Bomberman games before it, but in a more open space with some more puzzle elements to it. It was as if Bomberman was just plopped onto a wide open area, which is a bit different from the more action platformer sort of gameplay in Bomberman Hero. The gameplay is very similar to previous Bomberman games, a stark contrast from Mario or Link making their leap into 3D. Instead of just blowing up the obstacles and enemies in a maze-type environment to get to the end, much like the previous Bomberman games before it, the player must navigate some of the action-based stages by strategically using bombs in order to get to the goal. Since some obstacles may not explode from a simple bomb throw, the player can charge up the bombs so that they can. Bomberman can also grab bombs as well as items and, surprisingly, even enemies. Bomberman is also able to get power-ups to increase his bomb count and bomb power, give him an extra hit, as well as a power-up that can make his bombs remote detonatable, which helps in situations like this. Most of the time I died. I felt it was mostly my fault and not the game being unfair. However, I feel there is a necessary amount of precision needed in order to hit them with bomb throws and when to hit them. So once Bomberman clears the 4 anchors, he's able to infiltrate the Black Fortress and confront Altair. After beating Altair, you're then treated to the normal ending. Throughout the game, you might end up finding collectibles in the form of golden cards throughout the normal action stages or boss battles. Each stage, including the boss battle ones, have 5 of these collectible cards that you can obtain for a total of 100 gold cards. If you collect all these cards and beat Altair, you're rewarded with some secret bonuses. So for those wanting to go the extra mile and collect them all, your efforts won't go to waste. This game is somewhat short if you beat it with the normal ending. It took me about 4 to 5 hours to reach the ending screen, but if you try and get the rest of the gold cards, it'll most likely add a considerable amount of playtime. As to be expected with the usual Bomberman game, there's also a multiplayer mode that you can play with up to 3 other people if you want to. It's nothing too groundbreaking, but it's still an enjoyable time if you want to play with some friends. If you're looking for a good N64 game, or a good game in general that you've never played before, I suggest you give this game a try. Or if you haven't played in a while, or never finished it, try giving it another go. That's all I have to say for this video. Thanks for watching.